Hey, what's going on, guys? The Horror Man back with the next review in the Fangoria Challenge. This time, Jason and I watched Death by Temptation. You want to talk about underrated? This is underrated. According to Fangoria, Death by Temptation is one of the 101 best horror movies you've never seen, and they nailed it again. Here's its entry in the book. I should also mention that Death by Temptation is a trauma film, and it's probably my favorite trauma film. The thing is, though, it doesn't feel like a trauma film. Regardless, it is, and I love it. Death by Temptation is a 1990 horror film, produced, written, directed, and starring James Bond III. That's such a cool name, isn't it? James plays a ministry student named Joel. His father, played by Samuel L. Jackson, was also a minister, but he died in an accident. Joel's brother Kay lives in New York City. He's played by Kadeem Hardison, who a lot of people will probably remember as Dwayne Wayne from the 80s and early 90s sitcom A Different World. Joel decides to travel from his home in North Carolina to Brooklyn to visit Kay. Kay is an actor, and he's a bit more hip than his younger brother. After giving him some fashion advice, Kay takes Joel out on the town. They go to a bar where Kay recently met a woman, hoping to find a girl for Joel. And it just so happens that Joel meets the very same woman as his brother. For some reason, though, she acts as if she never met Kay. It turns out she's a temptress, an evil seductress, a succubus. Men from all over the city have gone home with her, and none have returned. Kay befriends a cop named Dougie, played by the late Bill Nunn. He's the one who informs Kay about his brother's new girlfriend. Kay was the lucky one from escaping her alive, but Joel might not be so lucky. So now Kay and Dougie try to devise a plan to save the innocent Joel. But if their plan should fail, it's only a matter of time before Joel becomes a gruesome mess, like the other victims of the succubus. Death by Temptation is awesome. I know I might sound like a broken record with a lot of these Fangoria challenge movies, but damn, this is on the list for a reason. It truly is, in my opinion, one of the 101 best horror movies you've never seen, if you've never seen it. And honestly, if you have seen it, I think it's one of the 101 best horror movies you have seen. It's that good. The casting, first of all, is perfect. I remember renting this movie in the 90s because I was a big fan of A Different World, and Dwayne Wayne was my favorite character. So, as you can imagine, seeing Kadeem Hardison in a horror movie was so cool. Because of that, Death by Temptation is very nostalgic for me. Bill Nunn is also great as Dougie. It's a shame he passed away so young. Death by Temptation is also super atmospheric. It's very late 80s, early 90s. There is a lot of mist and vibrant colors. The movie was filmed on location in Brooklyn, so it has that raw, gritty feel. The bar scenes almost come alive on celluloid. There is some really good blood and gore, and some pretty damn amazing practical effects. It had been years since I last watched Death by Temptation, but I have to say, it blew me away all over again. Nothing sucks about this succubus film. It's a truly deaf movie. Do yourself a favor. Don't fight the temptation. Check it out. And if Death by Temptation sounds good to you, or if you've already seen it, I also recommend checking out Vampire in Brooklyn. There are a lot of similarities between the two films. In fact, Vampire in Brooklyn is almost the reverse of the story. Instead of a female succubus seducing men in Brooklyn, you get Eddie Murphy as a vampire seducing women in Brooklyn. Kadeem Hardison also has a role in this. And lastly, Vampire in Brooklyn is not just another underrated film, it's an underrated film directed by Wes Craven. But we're discussing Death by Temptation right now. Have you seen it? If so, what do you think of it? Comment below and let me know. And please be sure to check out Jason's review. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit that thumbs up and be kind, subscribe.